We are back. Thank you for joining the All Four Downs podcast. This is the NFL Week 18, the final games of the regular season. Thank you for joining us. And I know like earlier we were broadcasting about college football, but now our channel is now tuned in to the NFL. And that would make sense if we would just stayed on the channel and stuff like that. I get it, but I didn't want things to get confused between both shows. But I think that in our future we're gonna probably combine everything and do the ranking stuff. Maybe next season. We'll see how it goes. But right now it's week 18. We're getting ready to close out the regular season of the NFL, and a lot's at stake. For some. There's gonna be some hating going on, and it's gonna the rivalry is going to get even deeper, even without playing each other. We're gonna cover that here on this show. But hey, real quick, playoff scenarios right now. We got Kansas in the AFC, Kansas City, Buffalo, Baltimore, Houston, Pittsburgh, and Los Angeles Chargers. They all made it. 6 teams already. Only one more slot that's available. And right now, the Denver Broncos are 9-7 in the 7th seed. Behind them is Miami and Cincinnati. Okay. Should the Broncos and Dolphins lose and the Bengals win, the Bengals are in. If the Broncos lose and the Dolphins win, the Dolphins are in. But if the Broncos win, which, by the way, they play the Chiefs, then the Broncos are in. Very interesting, huh? Yeah. So, a lot's at stake. And are there going to be some bitches and gripes going on? Especially, I think the Dolphins, who they play, the Jets?
Yes.
Oh, my God. Out of all teams, I think I prefer the Chiefs to beat the Broncos if I'm knowing that Miami's winning.
Right.
Because Miami's an easy target.
Yeah. Knowing that Miami does outrank Cincinnati in this situation, yeah.
That is something, I tell you. But anyways, and the AFC and the NFC, excuse me, the Lions, Eagles, Rams, Buccaneers. I'm sorry. No, I can't say that. The Lions, Eagles, Rams, the Vikings, the Commanders, and the Packers. Okay, all made it. Now, the wild cards all filled. The only position left is the NFC South division champion, and that is the Buccaneers or the Falcons.
Right.
So really, yeah. But some of these teams are playing each other that make a difference within the seedings.
Yes.
Who do you want to play in the first round? Who do you want to play in the wild card? Are we playing to play, or you don't care if you lose? And then on top of them all, the last game is the Lions versus the Vikings. Winner gets awarded the bye week and become the NFC North champion. And the loser goes on the road for the playoffs.
I would have never thought in a million years that a 14-win team will be a wild card team.
That has to be a record.
I think so. I don't think that's ever happened.
No, to my knowledge, I see a 10-win team,
10,
or 11-win team, but I've never seen 14. That's like an automatic first place.
I mean, it's like, good Lord, you go, you fight all season, you win 14 games, and all you're going to be awarded is a first round road game. That is just. That's
again, why this is why we need to reseed
it properly.
That's
what I've been saying.
The NBA. Yeah. Yes.
I mean, the Vikings or the Lions, somebody's going to lose, and yet they're not going to be rewarded for their achievements this year. They're not, and that's not fair to them. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is.
Yeah. The only latest news now they're talking about is the Pro Bowl. People making it, people getting snubbed. I really don't care about the Pro Bowl. Does anyone see the Pro Bowl? Pro
No.
Bowl's not what it used to be back in the days.
No.
Ah, anyways, let's go ahead and start off with our very first game. Okay. It's a Saturday game
Mm-hmm.
between the Browns versus the Ravens. Now, this is very important because the Ravens are right now holding the first place. A win will clinch their division,
Right.
and then they'll host the game at home.
Yes.
Okay. It now depends who it is because we're still waiting for the other games. So it's in Baltimore. Baltimore's favorite 20.5 points. Damn.
I mean, seriously, it's like I. That's a big spread for the last game of the season. Good night. I don't.
Is this like the college football between Ohio State and Oregon?
If I'm the Steelers and I'm looking at this spread, I'm like, you know what? The chances of us winning a division title right now is just slim to none. Not with a
Yeah,
spread like that.
but
I
how
mean,
long would you keep your start? Like I don't know. I feel like that is too big of a spread. Knowing that if you have that lead, that then you put in your backups, and the other teams like score a couple of more, and then you only lost by 18 or 15 points, right?
yeah.
So,
I mean,
yeah,
James Winston is not a slouch. I mean, he can put some numbers up.
yeah, but I mean, how many good games has he had though?
No, no, but I'm just saying he. I mean, for anybody who's betting on the spread, you be careful because Winston could probably put some numbers up and keep the spread close. But
I think Cleveland is what they're trying to do is keep their picks closer to number one because they're 3-13, which is the let me see, yeah, that is the record. I mean, right now, like if they lose, you hoping that anybody else with 3 wins win, and then you get the number one draft pick.
right,
Maybe they go get a quarterback again. I don't
yeah,
know, but all right, I'm picking the Ravens to win this game.
I think that's not a
They're
no
going to
brainer.
clinch the NFC North. I mean, Steelers had their chance to beat them and they couldn't do it. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
that's
true.
my pick. Yeah. Let's
And
move on to the second game. Coincidentally, that the AFC North has taken over Saturday games. The Bengals versus the Steelers.
now here's my question:
Mm.
Pittsburgh watching this game, they if they see Baltimore winning this game and locking up the North, do the Steelers decide, hey, we're just gonna sit everybody out?
No, but here's
Because
the
they can still
thing. They're at
participate in
number 5 seed right now, and they're tied with the
the
Chargers.
Chargers.
But do you want to play if they're 6, that means they play 4. That means they play the Houston Texans.
I
You
like
may
that.
want to win because Houston Texans is not a threat.
No, they're not.
Not like
Not,
last year,
not at this
right?
point, right?
But if you lose and the Chargers win, then you might be the 6th seed, and then now you have to play Baltimore.
Again. Oh, yeah, you split that series though. You have a fighting chance.
They couldn't do it in Baltimore. You think they're gonna do it in Baltimore? Come on, man.
Hey, sometimes they say, you can't beat a team twice. I don't know. It's the Giants have proven it.
Well, here's the thing, right? No. The thing is, I see what you're saying, but if you beat them twice in the regular season, it's hard to beat them 3 times in the playoffs. I've seen that done, but usually when the team wins last, they ended up winning again. That's my philosophy. I don't know. Um, I don't think I will slack off. I will try to win this game and
Yeah.
maybe hope Chargers lose.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you fight hard enough to win this game. Not only are you putting yourself in that position to get a higher seed, but you also pushing the Cincinnati out of the door of
Right.
making any chances of the playoffs. So you're getting that threat out the way too.
Yeah. And even if like let's say the Broncos win and make 10 wins too, right? They're still stuck behind the Chargers
Right.
because the Chargers beat them twice already.
Right. Exactly.
So the Broncos really are really locked in at 7 regardless. But yeah, that's what we're looking at right there. So I'm taking the Bengals for the win.
I was taking the Bengals too. I mean, look, the way Joe Burrow's been playing 8 straight games with 3 or more touchdown passes. I have to do the math. That's like almost 24 touchdowns alone right
Now
there.
y'all want to play.
Yeah, exactly.
Now y'all want to play. And then you're gonna be praying for somebody else to help you to get in the playoff.
Yeah.
I swear, if the Bengals are in there, you can say bye to the Buffalo Bills. See ya, Buffalo. Thank you for coming. You can have your MVP, but you ain't going to advance it to the playoffs. Bye, Buffalo.
I think if the Bengals make the playoffs, the only team that could stop them will be Baltimore.
But they won't be playing Baltimore.
If down the line later
no,
on.
because hold on. Technically, I don't think so. When it comes to the playoffs, the way the Bengals are playing, look, I think they can beat the Baltimore. The thing is that if let's say if Cincinnati did go, they beat Buffalo, then they got to go play Kansas City.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the game I want to see.
Right, and then, you already know that they could beat Kansas City.
But Baltimore is so vulnerable too.
But I'm just saying that if any of the top 3 teams could take Cincinnati down, it will be more Baltimore than Cincinnati.
I'll take the Chargers to play, man. I'm choosing the Chargers.
That could be the dark horse right there. They could be the dark horse. But
yeah.
But for this game, like you said, we both got Baltimore. We both got Cincinnati. So
we both got Bengals. Now, this part here, and this is what I have disagreed. Okay, is the Giants versus the Eagles. Now, initially, I had the Eagles winning. This is a rivalry game, for one. 2, you're going, and I understand, y'all clinched your way in the playoffs. There's nothing really to gain from this because the winner between the Lions and the Vikings will have one game up on the Eagles.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I said to myself, why there's no reason we're locked in at number 2.
Yeah.
But you have 101 yards for Saquon Barkley, not only to break the record that what year was it? 1984?
Yeah.
And you're going to sit down? And this is what I heard on the radio. And it made a lot of sense. The record is not only about Saquon Barkley. That record speaks volume about that offensive line. That's the workhorse. And you mean to tell me that after he reaches over 100, you can't sit everybody else down? And the way the Giants defense is performing, he might get 100 in the first half. So I really don't understand why. And they said they asked Saquon and stuff like that. It was like, well, it's almost like they put him on the spot, right? Like it's not his decision. But the coaches, everybody, they asked him, but I think it's really the senior management dictating no, because he is injury prone, right? I think it's not fair for the fans. And I know we can't think like that too, right? Because on the other, if you look at the other side, if he did get hurt, then you lost him for the playoffs. They're going to look at the coach and he's going to be the blame. So there's no win situation, but you're playing for a record that's meant to be broken. On the other side, he's doing it with an extra game. Dickerson did it with 16 games. So in a sense, I'd be like, all right, fine. You're right. Sit down because you really didn't break nothing. You was 100 yards short in a solid 16 games.
I see what you're saying. I agree with you to a certain point, but if he was to break the record would still be broken regardless of how many games it took you to do it.
True.
It's not Saquon's fault that there's 18 games in a season. You just have extra opportunities
17.
to break that record.
18 weeks, 17 games.
So he has an extra opportunity to break the record. I would have taken advantage of that.
I would too.
safety of the players is priority when it comes to trying to get to the playoffs and win the Super Bowl. I understand that, but when you're so close to a record like this, and if you start looking at, okay, when was the last time somebody got this close to Eric Dickerson? It wasn't recent. This is the closest you gotten in a long time. I personally, I'm not trying to be selfish, but let him go after it. Let him give it the
Yeah.
attempt to try to break the record.
Let
You
me
know,
see.
because
Let me see
right,
how many people are in there. Go ahead.
because I believe Saquon is the ninth person to rush for over 2,000 yards. But getting back to what I was saying, listening to Eric Dickerson when he was in his interviews, to me, he sounds like he's selfish. He should understand that every record is meant to be broken. And for you to sit here and say that you don't want Saquon to break your record tells me that you're being selfish. Okay. I mean, you got to think about when you took over the record. You passed somebody to take over that record. And now you're being selfish and thinking that this record is unbreakable. It's breakable. Okay. And you're gonna have to accept the fact that one day somebody's gonna take down that record. Obviously, it's not
He
gonna
he
be
broke
Saquon.
he broke O.J. Simpson's record.
Okay.
Yeah, and he did it in 1973.
See? So for him to be, to me, I think to me he sounds selfish about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
O.J. Simpson had 2,003 yards, and then after that you had let me see, Barry Sanders 2,053. Um, who else? Jamal Lewis. I have to backtrack. 2003. Jamal Lewis did it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was Barry Sanders, Jamal Lewis, and then Adrian Peterson did it in 2012. He's in second with 2,097 yards. Right now, Saquon is at 2,005 yards. I mean, you can still climb up the charts and get up there, right? But I don't know. I
See
disagree on all this.
what I think my thinking is if I was the coach, if I'm management, I would say, you know what? Let's play him for the first half, see how well he does. If he looks like he's struggling, then we'll pull him.
Right.
But if he looks like he's gaining progress and the line is protecting him and getting him them open looks, and he's close, then let's keep on pushing forward. But you always have that chance to pull it back. Say, Barkley, look, it's looking too risky. You're not doing well. You're not that many. Well, let's get you out. We gave you the opportunity. Let's get you out. You see what I'm saying? At least give him that chance. I mean, come on, man.
So the Giants and the Eagles, we already know that the Eagles will play their second string, right? They're resting all their starters.
Right.
The Giants offense looks struggling. I mean, I don't even know why they won last week. I don't know what happened. Was it Shador Sanders, his comments on social media, having the sneakers with the New York Giants on it? I don't know if that was a motivator or what. Technically, I don't want him with the Giants. No. There ain't that great quarterbacks out there, but that's another story. But I'm just curious to see how will this change? How will this game change right now? That's what I'm curious about right now. Because Philadelphia is that -3 right now. So really it's almost like a pick'em game type deal.
Yeah.
Right? Because the home team automatically starts at -3. And the needle didn't move. So are we expecting the Giants just to fall flat?
I am. I think last week was a fluke, putting up 45 points. I'm sitting there just watching this game like, can the Colts not get out their own way? I mean, what is going on here? But I don't see that happening 2 weeks in a row here, honestly. Even with I think that the Eagles' backups is better than the Giants' starters at this point.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
And so for that, I will take the Eagles and I'll take the 3. I mean, good Lord. I mean,
damn. Let's look at that depth chart. Kenny Pickett may not play. We got Tanner McKee or Ian Book. Ian Book is
book it.
He's from Notre Dame.
Yeah, exactly. Put him in there.
Yeah,
put him in there. Let him torch the Giants.
That's why he's the 4th string.
Yeah, well,
damn.
We had like
Kenneth Gainwell might run. Then you got Johnny Wilson for a receiver. I like most of these names. I'm like, what is going on here? And the depth, anyways, I mean, they don't got that much depth in the offensive line for the Eagles to like start them because they get tired. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyways, you pick the Eagles.
I'm picking the Eagles.
Why not? Give me the Giants.
Take the Giants.
You know what be bullshit right now? If they change their mind, be like, all right, we're gonna put Saquon in. Then I'm like, you're assholes.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would definitely not like that at all. I wouldn't.
I agree. No, I agree with you.
I did. If Saquon will play, I'll say Eagles win.
That'd be a punk move if they did that. I agree.
I hate it. You know what else is a punk move? Is this one? The Chiefs and the Broncos. Knowing that the Bengals could get into the 7th seed with the help of the Chiefs beating the Broncos, you think the Chiefs will want to help the Bengals? They don't need to play. That's the team that need to sit out. And they got a first-round bye. And no one comes close to the Chiefs this year. And they need to rest. They need to regroup because the whole season has been very, very lucky for them. Okay?
It's been a lot of theatrics for the
This
Chiefs.
is going to be the last year the Chiefs are in a run for the Super Bowl. I'm making that statement right now. They're looking scrubby. I don't know what to say. And I think what's his name is going to retire too. Their tight end, Kelsey. That's a possibility. However, how will they play? Bye week and all. And since November 2015, Chiefs only lost once against the Broncos. So why would you start now? I'm taking the Chiefs.
Well, I'm taking Denver.
Okay.
I'm going to take Denver. I mean, with Carson Wentz starting this game for the Chiefs, they got nothing to play for. And you're right. I do see it as them gift wrapping this game for the Broncos to get them into the playoffs.
Denver's favorite 10.5 right now.
That is a big spread. That is big spread. That's what I'm saying. That's just somebody knows something that knows something that knows something, because this is for the Chiefs to be that much of an underdog with the best record in the NFL. That's just crazy.
Oh my God.
But I'm taking Denver to win this game and get into the playoffs.
There's no backup quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm looking at their depth chart. If Carson Wentz gets hurt,
Kelsey's gonna be the quarterback.
I hate this. I hate these picks, honestly.
I know.
Panthers versus the Falcons. There's a pattern here that I've looked at in their history. It's win, lose, win, lose. Guess what? It's Panthers' turn to win. So I'm picking the Panthers. I swear to God. God.
No. I'm laughing because it's crazy, because all year I have not picked the Carolina Panthers. That's the only team in the NFL that I have not picked in a game. And for that reason, I'm going with the Carolina Panthers.
All right, fair enough.
I just said, you know what? I got to give them a chance here. They play some good football. I mean, they play the Chiefs hard. They play the Eagles hard. I mean, you know what?
Just the reason why I'm picking the Panthers because Michael Penix Jr. is making his second start.
Right.
And you made a ballsy move to put him in a place where, all right, here we go. I'm kicking Kirk Cousins out of here. I'm sticking with my new draft pick. And look, Michael Penix Jr., he didn't look so good anyway. I mean, he went 19 for 35 for a touchdown and interception against the Washington Commanders. And watch this. The Falcons scored 17 points in the first half. They ended up only scoring 7 in the second half. What happened? Well, they got shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Suspect. Falcons eliminated.
Let's do it.
There you go. Let's do it. All right. Speaking about the Commanders, they on the road against the Cowboys.
Yes.
Nah. Give me the Cowboys on this one.
What?
Yes. This is a more meaningful game for the Cowboys than the Commanders. Why? They need to prove Jerry. What's his name? Jerry. What's his name?
Jones.
Jerry Jones, you gotta prove him. I don't need my paycheck. Let us play.
Well, I'm picking.
And go ahead.
No, I'm picking Washington, and with that win, they would clinch the number 6 seed.
But they're already in the playoffs.
But they could drop.
Okay, so watch this. I'm glad you mentioned that. If the Commanders were to win, they will have to play the Rams. If the Commanders lose, they got to play the Eagles. Who you want them to play, Eagles or the Rams?
I think they have a slighter chance against the Rams than they do the Eagles. Not saying that's my pick right now, but I'm just saying that's just a slighter. To me, I think they have a slighter chance of taking Stafford down than that Eagle team.
Now, Kingsbury has done very well with the Washington Commanders, and it seems like he be on his way out because he's looking for another head coaching job.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people need to like understand. Sometimes you're not meant to be a head coach. You're meant to be an offensive coordinator.
Right.
And he's one damn good offensive coordinator to take a team like the Commanders. Already they're 11-5, and they've been. Remember the time they were in first place? They were still under 500.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, man. Just saying.
And I like the way Daniel's playing on the road this year. I mean, this year on the road, it's 10 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. So I think he'll do that against Dallas at AT&T Stadium.
I will arrest him. You need him more in the playoffs. And he's been banged up too. Let's not forget about that.
I think play him, see how this game is going. If it gets out of control, that they're just commanded. If they just got commanded this game, pull them out. But they still got seating positioning here that they're playing for, while the Cowboys are playing spoiler.
All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the Bears and the Packers. The Bears will play for a draft pick, and they need a head coach. The Packers, well, there's a lot of scenarios on this. Here we go. If the Packers win and a Washington win, they play the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
If they win and Washington loses, they play the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
But if they lose, they play the Eagles. I would like for the Packers to play the Eagles and eliminate them quick.
But they already played the Eagles and lost.
Playoffs are different.
Yeah.
And when they played, was Jordan Love there?
Yeah. They played in Brazil.
That's why he got hurt. Jordan Love got hurt in that game.
But then they also had that wild game against the Rams earlier this year too, the Packers. And they barely won that game.
Well, that bird gonna win now.
Are you choking on whatever that gobstopper you chewing on over there?
I got this bazooka gum.
Oh my
and
God.
Remember the bazooka gum with the comics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes you longer to read the comics than chew that gum because the gum gets stale after reading the first page of the comic. I mean, good Lord. I mean, if you try to get jaw exercise, then you chew that gum.
Yeah. I really need some jaw exercise. All right, I got the Packers. Who you got?
I got the Packers.
All right, moving on to the Texans and the Titans. Right now, it's a pick'em game between these two. What more can I say about the Texans? The Texans await between whatever happens on Saturday game because either they play the Ravens, Steelers, or Chargers. Which one? Who want to come to my house? The Chargers. Let me see. I don't know what I put here. Anyways, yeah, Texans awaits for those, but Texans are 4-1 in the division. They did lose to the Titans, but they need to prove that they can still play the game. I think they will play their starters, see how that goes. And again, I haven't been up to date on the news or what's going on with them, but there's nothing really. It's not like they're moving up. They're stuck at 4. So
I know that's the thing. They are stuck at 4.
They can't control who they're gonna play for in the playoffs, except for
hey,
someone's gonna be knocking on their door. But I'm taking the Texans on this one.
Yeah, it's like you're right. I don't. It's crazy how they got Tennessee favored in this game. They say
Because they're home. Titans
yeah,
are home. That's why.
but I like Houston. I think Houston's going to win this game. I mean, I want to see them boost up their rushing game a little bit because over the last
Yeah, the
couple of
Titans
weeks.
probably gonna tank a little bit. They're gonna tank.
I hope so. Well,
Yeah.
I got Houston in this game also.
All right. Let's go ahead. Jaguars and Colts.
After
This
that disappointing loss last week and got eliminated.
Jags at Colts. When they're in Indianapolis, they're 0-2 in the last two games. Make it 0-3. I'm taking the Colts on this one.
I was going with the Colts too.
All right.
Maybe the Jags are trying to contend for that number one spot.
Good luck. Patriots got it. You know why? Because they're going against the Bills. However, I don't even know. I don't even like this pick. I don't. I don't like this at all.
It's a trap. Buffalo's already locked in at number 2.
But there's a rivalry. Can we see Mitchell Trubisky play for the Bills? He's the backup quarterback. And if he plays, the Patriots win. Trubisky sucks, bro. He is garbage. Not like I do better, but every time they put him to play, he always turns over the ball. You get 2 interceptions on that guy. Automatic. You're going to play? Two INTs right there.
The Patriots are on a 6-game losing streak right now. And during that losing streak, they've given up over 30 points a game. Maybe Mitchell Trubisky can still throw up 30 points in that game against that defense.
Yeah, but I mean, and they just played the Bills 2 weeks ago, and they lost 24-21. This game has a lot of meaning. I don't think they're gonna get blown out. I don't think so.
I'm going with Buffalo.
All right. I think, but the first round pick is the Patriots, right?
Huh?
The first round pick right now, it's the Patriots. They lead number 1, right?
Yeah. Over the Giants, yeah.
No, but the Giants are not even number 2.
What are they, number 3?
I think they're number 4.
What?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I know the Raiders are still behind them, though. The Raiders are still ahead of them. I know that. Because at one time, it was the Giants and the Raiders fighting for that number 2
So
spot.
the Patriots are number 1, Tennessee number 2, Cleveland number 3, and Giants are number 4.
I can understand Cleveland because the Giants already beat them.
Based on the strength of schedule right now, which I don't understand. No, yeah. I'm looking at the data. The only thing that's in order right now is the strength of schedule. The Giants have a harder schedule than Cleveland, Tennessee, and New England, and they're giving it to New England. That's crazy. You would think the ones with the easiest schedule gets to the back of the line. Yeah. Right now, again, New England's holding up that number 1 pick. Will they play for that number 1 pick? See, I hate this is what I hate about week 18.
I know. We've been doing so good this year. We've been winning every week. We're winning records, and then everybody just wants to throw a curveball into week 18. So it's like, how do you go about going make your picks with week 18? I know. I think the Patriots are gonna. They know that they're at the number 1 spot. I think they're gonna keep that.
I picked the Bills.
Yeah, I'm going with Buffalo. You gonna change it up?
Yeah. That's. I'm moving to the next one.
Next.
Saints and Bucks. I got the Bucks.
I got the Bucks. They're favored by what? 40? Favored by 45 points in that game.
Actually, they're favored by 13.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Bucks win the division.
Interesting game right here. Chargers versus the Raiders.
Chargers clinch the playoff spot. They can move up. Yeah. What? While the Raiders won 2 in a row? Mm-hmm.
If the Chargers win, they're more likely going to play Texans, Rams, or Steelers. That's still an option.
The
But
Rams?
if Ravens, I'm sorry, Texans, Ravens, and Steelers. If they lose, they have to play automatically the AFC North champion, which is either the Steelers or the Ravens.
Yeah.
Defense stepped up in the second half, only giving up 6 points. And the Raiders have only given up 6 points in the last 2 games.
Yeah.
Something in the Kool-Aid is happening in the Raiders. I'm picking an upset. The Raiders defeats the Chargers.
Nice. I like that. I'm taking the Chargers.
Word. Chargers favored by 4 points. That's not good.
No. Yeah, I see that, but I ain't gonna worry about it.
What? Seattle. Seahawks versus the Rams.
A meaningless game. I mean, what? There's nothing for either one of these two teams in this game. The Seahawks are eliminated. The Rams already locked up the West.
That's why the Rams are going to win.
I
don't think anyone's going to try, man. If this is a first-year head coach, how you lose a game 6-3?
Oh my God.
How you win a game 6-3? Excuse me.
You know, it's funny. It was sad, but it's funny that they compared that game to the Mariners this year against the White Sox. Because the Mariners beat the White Sox twice, 6-3 in baseball. And then they compared that game to that, how the Seahawks won 6. That was embarrassing.
That's embarrassing. They deserve to lose.
I think it was more embarrassing for the Seahawks than the Bears. The Bears, they just can't seem to get out their own way. They could have won that game along with all these other games that they should have won.
Who you got?
I'm taking the Seahawks.
I got the Rams.
I'm going to take the Seahawks. I just want to see them tie the Rams for the division, knowing that it's meaningless.
Dolphins versus the Jets. I want the Dolphins to lose. I have no other reason. I just want the Bengals to make it to the playoffs.
You know, it is so cool how we sit here all year long doing our homework, and we sit here and we debate with these stats, and then it comes out of week 18 and we say, for no other reason, I just want to see them lose.
Yeah. But then again, after I watched the news this week, Aaron Rodgers like, I might have 4 spots I want to go to. Come on, man. He's garbage.
He'll tell it all on the Pat McAfee show. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. I'm taking the Dolphins. You taking the Jets?
I don't want to, but yeah. Look, Dolphins lose, Broncos lose, Bengals in.
Easy that way. Go for it, buddy.
All right, I'm done with this gum.
I was hoping you were done with it when we talked about Cleveland and Baltimore 38 minutes ago.
49ers versus the Cardinals. 49ers are dealing with injuries.
Yes.
And they might start either Joshua Dobbs or Brandon Allen as a starting quarterback. Their defense are banged up. The Cardinals, I don't like the Cardinals. I don't like Murray. He might close his eyes and throw the ball more, but I'm still taking Arizona to win.
Yeah. I'm taking Arizona too to win this game.
All right, here we go. The game. Vikings versus the Lions.
We saved the best for last.
I'm
going with the 14-2 team.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. Lions story is getting hotter and hotter each week. They lost their star defensive men earlier this season. They've been dealing with injuries. They're coming back. They're still playing hard, right? Lately, that defense has been slacking off and they've been giving up some points. But that offense is probably the most elite offense in the NFL. They just put up points when they need to, and they don't never quit. Okay. And Goff, man, that guy, I tell you, the story that he's been through when he was with the Rams to let him go. And yet you saw that playoff scenario where Goff beat the Rams. Word up, continue. However, this is that moment. This is that moment that we need to see. That chapter did not close. They got that feeling of losing in the playoffs to San Francisco.
Man.
They're back, but the only thing that's stopping them right now is the Vikings. And maybe so. They worked so hard and they deserve it. I'm picking the Lions not only to win, but to reach the Super Bowl. And the only way to get to the Super Bowl is through Detroit this year. Give me Detroit.
Honestly, I don't think the Lions will be hurting if they did fall to number 5.
They got to play an extra game.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm picking the most experienced head coach more than the Vikings. Right. But then again, they still got Flores, right?
And see, the thing is, the Lions put up points, but they give up points. They're 6-1 this year in one-score games, as well as the Vikings, who is 9-1 in one-score games. So both these teams play close games. They put up the points, but their defense is suspect at times, giving up the points. So I think it comes down to a mistake or two by somebody here. But I think Detroit pulls this one out. They're at home. I think they're going to pull this one out.
Rick, I thought you were going for the Vikings.
I really wanted to, but I think this makes it interesting when it goes into the playoffs. I want to see if the Vikings can really get into the playoffs on the road and make it back into Detroit, into the NFC Championship game, because that means they will have to run into Philadelphia first.
I'm recapping their games. I could go back to where they lost the Lions 31-29. And then the following week, they lost to the Rams 30-20.
Mm-hmm.
But then they played the Colts, no good. Jaguars, no good. Titans, no good. Bears, no good.
Right.
They barely beat the Cardinals 23-22. They're no good. They played the Falcons. They played the Bears again. They beat the Seahawks 27-24. And then they barely beat the Packers 27-25. That's a great game. But now you're playing the Lions. Eventually, that's going to catch up to you.
Well, we could say the same thing about the Lions, though. I mean,
the Lions know how to win. We've seen them in the playoffs.
Okay, I get it. But when you just ran down Minnesota's schedule, there was a lot of non-playoff week teams there. You could say the same thing about the Lions. Okay,
they beat the Rams.
Okay, well, look. You said that the Vikings beat the Cardinals 20. They beat them 23-22.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Lions beat the Cardinals 20-13. There's another one-score game there. So the Cardinals kept it close there.
They beat the Texans.
Okay, but they beat the Cowboys. They beat the Texans. I'm sorry, the Titans. They beat the Jaguars.
There it is. They beat the Bears. They put up the numbers over there. I mean, look at that. 52 points against the Titans. They better win that way.
But then they lose to the Bills.
To town with them. Oh, yeah, they did lose to the Bills. Well, they 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 straight games. I think they ran out of gas. They were like, yeah, you can have this one.
They almost ran out of gas against the 49ers.
Yeah, that was a great game. And then Purdy got hurt.
So to me, I see this game evenly because you're right. They beat the Vikings by 2 points earlier this year, and both teams have equally been beating the cupcake teams, as you want to say. And they had their flaws, losing to teams that I guess are okay. I mean, they're good in a sense. I mean, so they found their vulnerability, but they both have in common also that they both beat the Packers. So the Packers can't seem to get out of their own way because they couldn't beat both those two teams there.
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, we could be seeing an NFC Championship preview right here. Honestly, we really could be.
Well, a lot of things has to happen, right?
I know, you're right.
Continue to win all the way through, and they're going to be on the road. It's not like they're home.
I know. And so if they get the Vikings get the 5 seed, then they play the 4 seed, which
I
is
wanted to be a very would weather play a factor at any of these games.
hmm,
That's something to
well,
look at in the future. I'm just saying, but next week we're gonna be talking about our prediction for the playoffs. And then we're also going to do week by week by wild card division rounds and everything else. So
mhm,
we will have our predictions to see who's going to the Super Bowl, who's going to win the Super Bowl. And like, hey, I already gave you my answer. My answer is I love
Detroit.
storytelling. Storytelling. That's my favorite. We got a history in the making. Will the Kansas City Chiefs win 3 in a row and make history? That's a great storytelling. Will Detroit come out of nowhere and finally get their first appearance in the Super Bowl? Not alone the first win in the Super Bowl.
Could we get two teams who never won a Super Bowl play each other?
Could be. You talking about the
Lions.
Buffalo Bills and the Minnesota Vikings both share history. They're
Yeah,
both 0-4 in the Super Bowl.
yeah,
I said one
yeah,
went 4 straight.
yeah, that's
I'll
true.
hurry up and join you, buddy.
Right. What if the Bengals found a way to sneak in and they go against the Lions in the Super Bowl? That's a wild, weird looking
Mm,
Super Bowl. I'm just
ow,
saying.
ow.
Ow, ow.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so
It is what
anything's
it is.
possible. Yeah.
Anything's possible.
That's what he said when they won the
Yeah.
championship in Boston. Yeah.
All right. So, hey, I tell you what, it's going to be some wonderful football to
And
include college football. It's going to be wonderful.
this is the most differences we've had all year.
Dude, it's just week 18. It's all crazy, man.
I know it is. You're right. You know, I'm pulling for you. I want to see you win all 6 of those games against me. I feel
Is it
bad.
really 6 games?
6 games. That's the
It
most.
could have been 7 because I was like, damn, what was it that changed the Bills? That damn number 1 draft pick. If the Patriots win, dude, I'm going to call myself targeting.
Give you double the penalty, 30-yard penalty.
Damn.
And a loss of 2 downs.
Damn.
And you lose the challenge.
I'll see you in 3 weeks.
Just put yourself on the injury reserve.
Anyways, that wraps up our show on All 4 Downs podcast. I'm Obi-Wan with Hector V. Tune in next week as we cover down our predictions with the wild card and a lookout of all the playoff scenarios that could possibly happen in the NFL. Thank you for watching. You want to tune in to our next show? It is the HHW Show podcast, the hard hitting wrestling show, as we get set to go on the road to the Royal Rumble and the premiere of Monday night's Netflix. Oh, yeah. Take care, everyone.
Peace.
I'm trying to get there, guy.
I know it. We need peace in our life.
Yeah. Oh, man. I don't know what I'm doing.
We're still alive.